This is Michael Delane, over to the Music Voice. I'm sitting with Hammerich, a well-known name in the peace movement, and she will tell us a little bit about the Livia Foundation and its branches. Hammerich, what is the background? What is the background for the Livia Foundation?
Well, the background is the Danish Center for Conflict Resolution, and we wanted to do something which has to do not with interpersonal conflict so much, but with social conflict and international conflict. And we wanted to do something to show good stories and examples of how to approach conflict in another way than violence.
There were 3 prize winners. An Israeli, Palestinian conflict group. The reasons for why they were chosen?
Competence for peace.
Yes.
Why they were chosen?
Yes.
They were chosen because they were fantastic. Because the Israeli-Palestine conflict is, in my point of view, the most serious one and the most dangerous one in the world, and we won't have any kind of peace before it's solved. And now we've just had the Gaza war, and it's fantastic that these 2 people who both have taken place in violent actions, one as a soldier and the other one as a militant freedom fighter, have put down their weapons, and that they work together and go to their regional or their local communities to promote non-violent solutions, other kinds of solutions. Put down hatred, put down fear, try to see each other as human beings. I think it's very amazing, and I know that they are met in their respective communities by a lot of resistance. Some see them as traitors in both camps. So Mahatma Gandhi said that non-violence is not for cowards, and that's true. It takes a lot of courage.
Another group which won a prize is a conflict resolution group in Høje Taastrup.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is much more socially oriented, isn't it?
Much more. And what is unique about them is that they have made kind of I don't know what you call it in English. Well, they have educated their colleagues in conflict resolution, so that they have what's called some tools. They have some tools. If a conflict breaks out, they know what to do. That's one thing. Another thing is that they work in this community. They work across the borders. You know, there are a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of borders to overcome. They've done that, and they have done it from beneath. It's a people-oriented thing. It wasn't decided from above. They did it themselves, and they also work in a non-bureaucratic way, so that people who face conflict, they can call them, and they will come immediately. They don't have to. There's no waiting time, and they work together from many parts of the city hall.
And they're very successful. The resolutions through.
Yeah, I think they're very successful. Originally, they started with problems like forced marriages and things like that, and mixed marriages, and but now it's kind of for everybody. Also, generation conflicts and integration conflicts. They're very successful, but they need more success, and they need to be recognized. That's also why we gave them a prize. Just like the Palestinian and the Israeli, they really need to feel that somebody sees them and admires what they're doing, gives them the recognition and acknowledgement that they really deserve.
The 3rd prize winner is someone who is much more known among the Danish public.
That's Hans-Jørgen Bonniksen, who he was a former boss of the police intelligence, And when we had the big crisis, you know, the cartoon crisis, somebody called it the Mohammed crisis, somebody called it cartoon crisis. When we had that, and Danish flags were being burned in the Middle East and so on, and we had some imams here who somebody thought that they were kind of putting fuel to the fire, but Bonnickson, he didn't say we don't negotiate with that kind of people. He has a strategy which he calls the open hand strategy. He says, let's open our hands to those that we regard as enemies, because that's the only way. If we put heart against heart, we will have no, it's not realistic. It's realistic to keep the contact and to keep the dialogue, and that's what he has been doing. And he has also been criticized a lot for saying what he means in the Danish public life after he resigned. And but he kind of uses his right to free speech, and he protects democracy because he's also always very cautious that we not in fear of terrorism, that the state, government, police doesn't take action which will in itself diminish our democracy. Like too much surveillance, for instance.
So is democracy must win over terrorism, must win over repression, and so on?
Yeah, it's absurd that we should destroy our own democracy in our endeavors to fight terrorism. In order to defend democracy, there's a risk that we diminish democracy, and Hans-Jørgen Bonnicksen is very strong in defending democracy.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Livia Foundation?
Yeah. Well, it's open for funding, I should say. We don't have a lot of money till now, but we decided to give out these 3 prizes to make ourselves known. And in the future, we will, people can write to us if they have some good initiatives, and maybe if we have the money, we will support them. We will also support them professionally by good advice and dialogue with them, because we have in our midst, as you could hear, a lot of people who are professors and who know everything about conflict resolution. We really have a big fund there. And we will also, I think, maybe we will in the future make a think and action tank, so that when crises, societal crises come up, that we can make some proposals which are more positive and which are more creative than those we read about in the media normally. So that's the way we're going to work.
Hammerich, thank you much indeed. This is Michael Belay.